Thanks to the support as a channel member, Viantra. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the future. Specifically, 5 years in the future, or 4 years in the future, I guess. 5 years after we resigned as manager of Bourne, 4 years after the last World Cup. We're going to be checking in on how Bourne have got on. We're going to be checking in how England have got on. We're going to be checking in on how some of our heroes from the series have got on. And let's see what happened next. Hello and welcome to Bourne Again 5 years later. I'm Kevin. Coming up in this video, we are going to be checking in on everything that's happened since the end of the series. If you've missed the England stuff that we've been doing over the last few days, then there are going to be spoilers for that incoming. So if you plan to watch that, you might want to watch that before you watch this, because I think we are going to start there. I'm going to keep you hanging just for a minute on the Bourne stuff, because I want to see what happened next with England, because that's fresh in my mind. Obviously, England we got to the World Cup final with England. Did they go one better 4 years later? They didn't. So competitions. So 2 consecutive World Cup finals. How did they get on in the World Cup? Just like, we're back to normal England now. Lost to Costa Rica in the second round of the World Cup. That seems much more like it. Clearly, the golden generation is done. We're officially still the second best team in the world. Our top player is Lee Cook, which makes me very happy. So we can check in, see what he's been up to. Lee Cook, still of Bourne, 29 years old now, 105 England caps, 40 England goals. I guess it's fair to say his injuries didn't get the best of him, and he's turned into that goal-scoring midfielder we always thought he would. Lovely stuff from Lee Cook. So he's England's best player. Lots of familiar names. This might be the problem with England. I recognise all these names: Neefsey, Daniel, Frost, Barrett, Bruce. These were all the top players before. I like the fact Bourne are still a major club. Does that mean we've been winning all of the things? That would make me. Sam Nixon-Burke is vice captain of England. Sam Nixon-Burke of Tottenham. He's only got 33 England caps. He did stay at Bourne for a couple of years. I mean, he kind of had himself established for 4 or 5 years as a regular starter at Bourne, but then has since moved to Tottenham for last season. That makes me a little bit sad, but he is England's vice captain. So we might not have signed a lot of English players in this series, but the 2 we did sign, captain and vice captain of England eventually, as their careers developed. So we picked a couple of good English wonder kids there, it seems. I've just noticed Kevin Zimmerman is still knocking around. 30 years old now. Kevin Zimmerman. Look at some of these transfer fees he's gone for. The 23 million I paid for him isn't looking so silly now. Yes, he only went for 5.5 and 7.25 there, but he's then had a 25 million pound transfer and just had a 34 million pound transfer to finally go back to Germany, aged 30. So I feel vindicated in my 23 million that I spent now and that one season that I played him for. So is there anyone else we'd recognise in this England squad from our Bourne escapades? Any other names? It doesn't look like there is. They seem to be the only 2. So I guess let's just check how they got on in the Euros as well. Did they win the following Euros? European Championship? No, lost in the quarterfinals. So England aren't any good anymore. That seems about right. Let's check in on Bourne then, who have most recently finished second in the Premier League. So that's where I left. So we know they won the Premier League the year after I left, but then a second place, a third place, and another first place. So they've won the league twice since I've moved on. Frank Lampard is now Bourne manager. Lee Cook is captain and key player. Remy Rillo. Did I sign him? No, I didn't. So we don't care about him. But Frank Lampard, how long is it? 68-year-old Frank Lampard has been manager of Bourne for the last couple of years. Won the league. That'll do, Frank. Good work, Frank. What a career Frank Lampard's had. So starting from Derby, he's gone to Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Atletico, Arsenal, Sevilla, Benfica, and Bourne. And Frank Lampard, wonder manager. Let's dig into the team. See who's still here. So no goalkeeper apparently. Have I got goalkeepers filtered out for some reason? No. Where are all the players? I don't understand. That's a weird one. I guess they've just done a friendly, maybe. They've just done a friendly, that's why. So, Mendoza's still there, age 30. Mendoza looks like he's still the starting goalkeeper. Simic is still there as well. I'm immediately noticing there's no Michael Beagles, so we'll go and find him in a minute, see where he's ended up. David Radmore I had for England, didn't I? He got injured during the World Cup and is eventually signed for Bourne afterwards. De Silva must be the all-time appearance holder for Bourne at this point. Bourne Town icon, De Silva. He must have done a testimonial by now as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. Going into his 13th year at Bourne. What a legend that man is. Cernajacki looks like he has moved. Oh no, Cernajacki's still here as well. But as you would expect, as he's getting a little bit older, he's dropping out of the team. We'll look at Cernajacki as well when we get to him. Marin Good. I tried to sign this guy repeatedly. Billy Marin Goudakis. I tried to sign him when he was at Swansea, then went to Arsenal. Yeah, there you go. So I tried to sign him there. I tried to sign him like here. I think when Swansea got relegated, I was in for him, but couldn't afford him at the time. He went to Arsenal, and that, I guess, is why Nixon Burke ended up losing his place, because this guy was always very, very high up on my scout recommendations. Delic is still there as well. Only 19 caps for Germany. I think I might have overspent a little bit on that guy. 78 million. Never really a regular player for either club or country. That one might have been a bit of a flop. Stephen Foose, the best right back in the world, is still here and has become a regular part of Bourne. I mean, it might be fair to say at this point he probably is. He probably did become that. Did he keep getting into the World 11? He did. I mean, how many times has he been in the World 11? Where do we see that? We need his one. Oh, it doesn't show on here. That's a bit annoying. Best right back in the world, though. I think that's fair. Lubinkovic is still here at 29. He was a good signing then. We'll give myself a pat on the head for that one. Mitar said, of course, he's lost his knighthood because my manager has retired. We know he's still Sir Mitar Cernajacki, and he is a Bourne Town legend, so he's achieved legendary status, which is excellent, and this is his career. You know what? He might be the all-time appearance holder because he hasn't dropped out of the team. He's kept going at 32 years old. I never thought he'd make it this far, but he's just had his best season since that ridiculous year when he got 23 goals, when he was like 22 years old. So Mitar Cernajacki is an absolute... He genuinely is a club legend. Wonderful stuff from Cernajacki. Giroud is 25 now. Only played 7. I expected better from Giroud. He's been a regular for us for pretty much the entirety of that 5 years. He's been a regular for us. But only 7 caps for France. I'm a little bit surprised. France must be a very, very good side. Anyone else? Lee Cook is unhappy. He wants a new contract. That needs sorting. Jasper's still there. Never played for Argentina. Probably fair to say, bit of a flop. And he has been out on loans and never really in the team. Not really sure why he's still there. Feels like he could have been moved on. Briseño, 99 caps and 75 goals for Mexico now. It doesn't look like he became established as our striker, but equally they've not turned him into a midfielder as well. But he has learned to be accomplished in all these attacking midfield positions. So I think they've basically turned Briseño into the new Ricardo, which probably isn't the worst thing to do, because he probably was never going to get in the team up front. I was going to say I wasn't noticing Domenico, but he's right there at the bottom of the list. So Domenico's still there too. Sebastião at 27, also never played for France. I wonder if he's thinking he should have stayed Brazilian. Although, to be fair, he's not ever established himself at Bourne. So that's a bit of a shame. And then Domenico, age 30, 80 goals from 103 caps for him. We've got some international legends knocking around this team. Never really had another season like that one he had with us in our final season. But I think that's more to do with the AI playing differently and not letting Premier League players have good seasons. That seems to be a thing. So they're the ones that are still here. Is there anyone obvious who's left? If we jump back in time, we go all the way back to... let's go to here, because I think that was my last season. Was this my last season? Yeah, that's the season where we thought we'd signed Delic, but we hadn't. So this is the first summer without me, which we already looked at in the first England video. So we know who came in then and who left then. So the first one we've never seen. We're really looking at who's left. and where they went. Don't even know who Kieran McKendry is, but we sold him for big money. Agostino went to Southampton, and I mean, he's carved out a decent Southampton-style career. He obviously wasn't ever going to be a top-tier striker like I thought he might be, which is a little bit of a shame. Anyone else significant? Not really. And that's the year they signed. We don't really care who they've signed. They're not really. We don't know who any of these guys are. I mean, I assume those of you who've still been following Bourne Town week in, week out, home and away, know all these guys are. I'm just coming back in after a bit of time travel. So Lavelle went to Saint Etienne, 28 years old. Wrong button. He's 65 caps for Peru, so he's another one who's had a nice little international career off the back of being a Bourne player, but never really made it as a top tier player. Anyone else? There's no one major went that year. Who Mulalic is? I guess I had him at some point. Looks like the majority of my boys have stuck around. I did build a team that by and large has been the team that's gone on to this success afterwards. I'm taking all the credit for this. Frank Lampard can take it up with my lawyers. I'm a little bit surprised to see Bonilla leave for such a small fee. I guess age more than anything is what's caught up with Bonilla there. But that was my last season. He was never a regular after I left. So clearly no one else rates Bonilla the way I did. He did go to Barcelona on loan and play a full season though. So I feel a little bit vindicated. And then he's gone to some imaginary club for 4.9 million. Guess he's maybe started his own team. Interesting. Good work, Carlos Bonilla, doing his own road to glory with an invented team over in Italy. Lovely stuff for him. And again, I don't know who Simon Reindeers is. Must be one of the youngsters that I brought in at some point. And then I've not seen Michael Beagles anywhere. Does that mean he got released? He's the one where Jim Steinman released on a free transfer, I noticed there. Because I guess, again, he was quite old. We're looking for Beagles to see when he went and where he went. Because I'm a little bit confused. Because he was really accumulating the caps for Wales. Unless I've just missed him going through that other stuff. We'll search for it. Thing is, we can't search for him because his name's going to have gone. That's why we can't find him, because his name has gone. Does anyone know what Michael Beagles' actual name was? That's a problem. Nicknames are gone. There is no other... Right, we need to work out... who he was. Does anyone remember what Michael Beagles' name was? I don't know how to get around this. We're going to have to look for any... Perhaps we'll look for big name... We'll look for names that look Welsh on the transfers out. Look for a Welsh name. He was a Welsh... We could look at Wales, actually, and see who their goalkeeper is. That's probably a more sensible way to do it. He'll probably still be their first choice goalkeeper. So, tactics. Gavin Greasley. There you go. That's Beagles. So, Michael Beagles went to Manchester United for 38.5 million, where he spent a season as first choice keeper, but then got replaced, went out on loan to Birmingham. And it's kind of all gone a little bit wrong. That's a bit of a weird one. Does a year as first choice, but then goes out on loan. 84 caps for Wales, though. It's not the same seeing him as Gavin Greasley. I'm now wondering, were there any other significant name in the game players? I don't think there were. I think Beagles was the main one, wasn't he? Hope I've not forgotten anybody. But I did forget that they would lose their names. Right, let's just jump back to Bourne, because we just want to check in on the club records, their progress in other competitions, that kind of stuff. So, Bourne, in general, 5-star team now, regular Champions League team. That all looks excellent. We've got, I love that, the two club legends, Mitar Sernajaki and Kevin Chapman. I'll take it. Me and Sir Mitar, we both need knighting. Icons, Jamal Hector Ingram, Bonilla, Bresenio, Domenico, Cook and Da Silva. How is Bresenio an icon, but Gomez nowhere to be seen? Favoured personnel, Lampard and Addo. I didn't notice Addo. Where's he gone? When did he leave? How did I not notice a £113 million transfer? So, unbelievably, we actually turned a transfer profit on Joseph Addo. Nobody would have expected that. Not even me. Kev's a transfer genius. Let's look at the facilities. Still at Milking Nook. Still not expanded it any further. State-of-the-art data analysis and youth facilities. Superb training. Exceptional academy. Yeah, I mean, this is a team set up to be a major player for years to come. They won the Champions League again. 2045 Champions League winners. This is why Lampard's favoured personnel. He's won the Premier League and the Champions League. Frank Lampard basically doing Kev things here at Bourne. Never won another FA Cup. Never won another... Oh, no, there was another Carabao Cup win. Never did manage to win the Club World Cup, though. That's still an elusive trophy. Look at all those honours that this team have won now. It's spectacular. Good. I mean, that tells you there's bright things ahead for Bourne. 3 times winner of the UEFA Youth League in 2042, 2043 and 2046. There are some stars coming through at Bourne, and this is going to be a team that dominates for many, many, many years to come. I'm very proud, particularly proud of Lee Cook, particularly proud of Mitar Sernajaki. Let's have a look at these club records and just see who ended up. Mitar Sernajaki must be all-time top goal scorer. He must have gone past Gomez. So, there you go. Confirmation. All-time top goal scorer is Sir Mitar Sernajaki. All-time most league appearances, 370 for Sir Mitar Sernajaki. Other than that, all the other records seem pretty similar to the ones that were in place when I was here. Addo's now records both in and out for transfers. And there's nothing else major. I guess the one other thing you're going to ask me to look at, I've got to see how his career turned out. He's now a free agent, age 34. It never really worked out for him after he left us. Burnley, I guess he did a 14-goal season there. He had some time on loan at Villarreal for a year. I mean, he's exactly what I always thought he was. He's a solid, mid-table, top-division striker who was made to look good by Mitar Sernajaki. And it worked for us. But that looks about right, I think. Still a hero. Still should be on the favoured personnel list. A little bit upset that he's not. But I think that is everything we can look at and have an explore of on this save. Frank Lampard, keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. At 68, I don't know how many more years you've got in you managing Bourne, but hopefully you'll be able to hold on long enough for De Silva or Mitar Sernajaki to take over from you, because that would make me very, very happy. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.